My name is Ryan Hall. Thank you for tuning into the studio here at Oak Mountain Media. Today, we have a very special guest joining us today. She has been the principal here since 2014. She has been our fearless leader. Dr. Sayers, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate your having me.
Yes, ma'am. And if it's all right, because it's the start of the school year, I thought it'd be really helpful if you could kind of discuss some things going on around here and just some aspects about Oak Mountain that a lot of people might not know about.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate you and Mr. Milton and the broadcast class for this beautiful set, this wonderful design that we have. It's something that we haven't had in several years, so I'm so excited that actually it was you who came to me at the end of the school year last year, and we talked about how to bring the broadcast program back, and Mr. Milton jumped right on board. I knew he would do a great job, so I'm so excited that we have this opportunity for students moving forward.
Oh my goodness, I just can't even tell you. I mean, in return, I mean, it's such a big help when your principal is kind of the biggest fan.
Well, all of you do a great job, and I'm just excited that you'll be able to cover our events. I'm excited that you're going to be able to interview other teachers, other students, just to get the word out about what great things we are doing at Oak Mountain High School.
Yes, ma'am. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. So in your opinion, what makes Oak Mountain stand out against the other schools kind of in our surrounding area?
Well, I think one of the best things that we really are noted for really is that sense of community. And I believe that starts with our elementary school, that goes through our middle school to our high school. And really, it's the idea that every person in this community really is responsible for every child. And that's the way we feel as a faculty and staff at Oak Mountain High School.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my philosophy is that we are responsible for every child in this building, and we're going to do what we need to do to make that child successful. And I think that the students appreciate that. I think that the students work with one another to make sure they're successful. So when I hear people who come into Oak Mountain High School who have been to other schools, other high schools, what they really say is that it's a sense of family.
Absolutely.
And that our teachers work really, really, really hard to make sure our students have what they need to be successful.
Yes, ma'am. That is amazing. And I can definitely say as a student, I mean, I can definitely speak to that. It's not just like the students and the faculty. It truly is like camaraderie. It truly is family here at Oak Mountain.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. Can you kind of speak to the newer members of our community and kind of speak upon like what parent involvement looks like here?
Absolutely. You know, we have a very active PTO. Our PTO president is actually Lisa Johnson.
Okay.
She has a senior here at Oak Mountain now. She's also had 2 students who have graduated from Oak Mountain High School. So they work with our community leaders. They work with our other parents to make sure that we actually have the funds that we need. You know, we're actually the only school in Shelby County that does not have a city tax base. So all of the money that we receive for any outside services actually comes from our parents and through fundraising events. So if anyone is wanting to get involved in that, I would certainly ask that you contact Lisa. She would be more than happy to plug you in. You know, I think that we always want to make sure that we have an open door policy. We want parents to feel welcome. We also want parents to know that our students are doing a great job and that our students advocate for themselves. And that's what we really want to make sure that occurs when a kid leaves Oak Mountain High School. We want to make sure that that kid is equipped to stand up for himself or herself and to ask questions when they need to be asked.
Yes, ma'am. That is truly amazing. I think as a student coming through here, I mean, you're not just prepared for the business world, but I mean, you're prepared for life.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put that, Ryan.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes, ma'am. And can you kind of speak upon what can parents do at home to ensure the success of their child here?
Oh, that is a great question. You know, I think that we never need to lose sight of the fact that the parents are such a vital, important part of a child's educational career.
Right.
And what we want to happen is that parents make sure that education is expected. We want to make sure that parents are aware of the assignments students have. We want to make sure that parents are supporting those students at home. And that's really why, you know, a couple of years ago, we went to the idea of we're a Google school. So all of our teachers use Google Classroom. And it's very easy for parents to get access to that Google Classroom information and then see what's available, see what their students are responsible for and what's available for them to get into, not to get into, that's not a good thing to say, for them to be involved in.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I think one of the other things that I would like to mention is the idea that all of our parents can go onto our website and look at our Source 60 calendar. So they have access of which clubs are meeting which days, because we really want our parents to support their own children being involved in schools.
Right.
Because research shows that students who are involved in extracurricular activities are the students who are the most successful.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I can bet as a parent, it really helps when the faculty and kind of the adult supporting systems here are like all on the same page.
Oh, it does.
And then
Absolutely.
kind of what you were saying about Source 60, as a student, I can definitely speak. It's almost like a tool, I would say. I think it's very, very unique what we have here at Oak Mountain, and there's nothing like it. It really helps when you can kind of have that responsibility on yourself and you can build your own schedule and have that freedom within limits to kind of do what you need to do and really take on your own responsibilities.
I agree. You know, this is the 4th year we're working with.
Yep.
So I guess it was really your freshman class.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and I can say that I believe that has been the most smooth this year. I believe that students are, they understand the importance of it, and they understand what we expect to happen during that time. So it's one of the best things that I have been involved in 31 years of education, is giving students that opportunity to manage their own time. You know, we have a lot of research that talks about students being stressed during the day, and that we really began Source 60 to be able to kind of relieve some of that stress, so students can get homework done, students can visit with their friends, students can just have that time to really kind of take a breath in the middle of the day.
Yes, ma'am, for sure. Can you kind of elaborate on some of the available services that we have here at Oak Mountain?
Absolutely. You know, we have we're very fortunate that we have a counseling department with 4 counselors. We have 2 counselors who divide 9th and 10th grade, and then we have 2 counselors who divide 11th and 12th grade. So there is a looping of 2 years, which really is important because, you know, there's a lot of maturity between a 9th and 10th grader. There is a lot of maturity between 11th and 12th grader,
right,
but it's a completely different child between 9th grade and 12th grade. And I'm sure that you can attest to that yourself.
Yes, ma'am,
You're
for
definitely
sure.
different as a senior than you were as a freshman. So we're very fortunate that we are able to provide those services with 4 counselors. We're also very fortunate that we have an administrative team of 5. We have a grade level principal, works with our 9th grade, our 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And really that is just to make sure that those students, again, are receiving the support that they need. Our goal is to support students and make sure that we can, if anything needs to be redirected, then we redirect that, because we know that if students aren't in class, they're not learning. We know that if the teachers aren't getting what they need from the administration and from the counselors, they can't teach. So really, it kind of goes back to what we talked about before at the very beginning. Every person in the building is responsible for every child. So as a faculty and staff, that's what we do. We work together to make sure those students get what they need.
Yes, ma'am. With that kind of support system, it's almost impossible to fail here at Oak Mountain, wouldn't you say?
You know, I would say so, and I can tell you I have the best job in the world. I work with the greatest students in the state of Alabama. I work with some phenomenal teachers and parents, so I'm very fortunate to be here at Oak Mountain High School.
Yes, ma'am. That's awesome. That's really cool. So I guess to kind of wrap up, is there anything else our parents should be aware of as we roll into the new school year?
You know, I think one thing that I would want to mention is that we want all parents to make sure they are aware of our new semester exam policy. That exam policy can be found on our website as well. They're also welcome to call the school. We can give them information about it. We actually have a graduated exam policy now, so freshmen even have the opportunity to be able to exempt 1 exam. Sophomores have the opportunity to exempt 2. Now, again, what is different is that is tied to attendance.
Right.
Whereas before it wasn't. Only seniors could exempt exams if they had an A. You can only miss 5 days now and have an A and exempt an exam.
Right. Well, that's awesome, man. That's really amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming in and joining us today.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. I like what you're doing at the school. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you for joining us today. And be sure to check out our just uploaded YouTube page. You can keep up with all things Oak Mountain Media. It's just Oak Mountain Media, just as I said it. And also be sure to check out our listserv. And that's kind of a way to just keep up with everything going on here at Oak Mountain, and keep up with Dr. Sayers and some other cool things going on. So you can just look up Oak Mountain High School online, and then you can join that listserv directly. So thank you, and for Oak Mountain Media, I'm Ryan Hall.